mortgage to make the process of moving more up to date and a little more streamlined. So, if a simple repayment or endowment mortgage isn't best for you, a specialist will individually design your mortgage. And what's more, if you apply before September the 22nd, we'll give you £200 when you move. So perhaps you'd better get a move on. And press for action.
Rodney, when you said you'd take me out for a drink, this isn't quite what I expected.
Take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
There's a feeling that can hit you anytime at any place. There's one who knows the secret of that one and only taste.
Tender chicken, herbs and spices too, that brings the taste so secret deliciously to you.
The secret's in the taste.
The new Argos catalogue is hot off the press with over 1,000 new products. So pick one up.
It's so easy.
Hello? Yeah? Oh, hello. I know you, don't I? Oh, of course you do. I'm you. 12 months from now. Get away. No. 12 months unemployment training, ET, helps you get yourself a job here as a mechanic. Oh, great. Well, forget the car, like. I'll fix that myself next year.
If you're over 18 and been unemployed over 6 months, phone free 0800 246 000 about new employment training.
If the only thing stopping you getting a job is training, the only thing stopping you training is you.
Oh, phone cards. Too complicated for what I need.
No. Phone card, most simple.
Really?
Look. I'll show you. Please,
No,
this
it's
way.
not that.
Phone card in here. Presto hey.
A £1 phone card buys up to 10 separate calls. No change, no bother.
Call is over. Card pops out.
Yeah.
Simple enough for you?
Well, simple enough for me. It's not me I'm thinking of, it's my son, Melvin. He seems to have great difficulty in using the phone.
Oh, don't tell me from children. Oh, you do everything for them. You work your fingers to the bone.
British Telecom phone cards. Available wherever you see the phone card sign.
And what you get?
Ah, nothing.
Oh, they never phone.
No.
They never write in.
Never.
They're never home.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock.
It's the rock and roll mix.
O'clock tonight.
The greatest ever rock and roll collection on one superb double album.
He's a bird. All of my love, all of my kissing. You don't know what you've been missing, oh boy.
60 all-original rockin' and rollin' non-stop hits on a fantastic double album. Ask for the greatest ever rock and roll mix from Stylus.
The Winston Churchill Travelling Fellowship Scheme is open to all British citizens, whatever their age or background. The categories for 1989 are Open for the Netherlands, Explorers, the Theatre, Urban Renewal, Woodland and Forest, Sports Science, Skin Disorders, the Motor Industry, Deer Management, Marketing and Retailing, Women and Engineering. Apply now for the chance of a lifetime to the Churchill Trust, 15 Queensgate Terrace, London. Telephone 01 584 9315. The closing date is the 17th of October.
Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 on Central. Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Passport control is not the only hurdle the lads have to cope with. For Barry, there's the little question of sartorial elegance.
Never out of fashion, are they, from the 80s? I hope that Hotel Mirama's got a lift. Hey, why? You'll never get upstairs in him, will you? Well, I must admit, they don't give me much freedom of expression, do they? Punished.
Auf Wiedersehen, shorts.
Now on Central and National and Regional Lunchtime News.
The news from ITN.
IRA funeral delayed as dead man's family tells security forces to back off. Brian Mullen is the third IRA man shot dead in an SAS ambush in County Tyrone on Tuesday. Earlier, there were funerals for the two pensioners killed when they triggered off an IRA booby-trap bomb in Londonderry.
Brian Mullen's remote farmhouse was virtually sealed off today as local people arrived for his funeral. Hundreds of police and troops in riot gear formed an almost unbroken ring around the house. Others took up positions along the route and in nearby fields. This massive operation has brought increased tension. Mullen's family have now refused to leave the house unless the RUC back off. Meanwhile, in Londonderry, hundreds of mourners gathered at the funeral of two people killed when a booby trap bomb exploded 3 days ago. Sean Dalton and Sheila Lewis, both devout Catholics, had visited a nearby flat to check on the whereabouts of a neighbour. They died instantly when the booby trap, intended for security forces, blew the flat apart. Today, Bishop Edward Daly attacked what the IRA had called a tragic mistake.
We do not want to hear any more apologies from the IRA or from anyone else. We seek an end to all of these funerals.
Robert Hall, ITN, Northern Ireland.
Police investigating the South Yorkshire killings say a man charged with murder is the grandson of one of the victims. Detectives now believe that the 4 killings all took place last weekend. The bodies of 2 disabled men were found in Wath earlier this week. Yesterday in Mexborough, an elderly man and woman were found murdered.
The body of 73-year-old Elsa Conradite was discovered by police in her house in the mining village of Mexborough. She'd been savagely attacked in her kitchen. An axe was found nearby. Not long afterwards, in a shed a few hundred yards away, police found the body of her common-law husband, 68-year-old Stanislas Pudukas. An axe and a hammer were found at that location. 300 policemen have now been drafted into the area. Detectives say they still can't establish a motive for the killings, but they feel that one person may be responsible. An incident room has been set up and forensic experts are at both locations conducting tests.
We have, with the local authority, entered a number of properties forcibly to ensure that there are no other persons secreted there, and we are as satisfied as we can be that there are no other bodies.
Meanwhile, 4 miles away in Wath-on-Dearne, police are still conducting inquiries into 2 other murders. A local man has been charged with one of them. David Glencorse, ITN, South Yorkshire.
The postal dispute worsened overnight with 40,000 workers now on strike. The union leader, Mr. Alan Tuffin, says he's hoping to meet the management today. In London, workers at the Mount Pleasant sorting office have walked out, disrupting mail throughout southeast England. Scotland has also been hit for the first time as staff are refusing to handle mail at the Glasgow office. More than 800 people are now feared dead after severe flooding in Bangladesh. The rising water is threatening to engulf the capital Dhaka, where 100,000 people have already been evacuated. President Ershad has toured the city by boat. Thousands fled to Dhaka after surrounding rural areas were swamped. Cricket, Worcestershire made a disastrous start in the NatWest Trophy final against Middlesex at Lords, losing their first 3 wickets for 11 runs. At lunch, Worcestershire were 71 for 4.
The sun is shining over a packed Lords, but Worcestershire, put into bat by home team Middlesex, didn't have a bright start. Angus Fraser saw off England opener Tim Curtis with the 11th ball of the morning. Outmarched Graham Hick, the big name of the season, appearing in front of the largest crowd of his career. The England selectors also watching. A vintage performance seemed to be on the cards. But then disaster. Steve O'Shaughnessy caught behind by Downton for 1. And just as Hick was finding his feet, Fraser struck again. A delighted Mike Gatting led the Middlesex celebrations. Hick's big day had collapsed around him. There was a revival of sorts, captain Phil Neal trying to boost his team's chances. But just before lunch, Needham bowled Leatherdale. Worcestershire have it all still to do. Simon Marks, ITN Sport, Lords.
That's it. We're back again this afternoon at 5.
Good afternoon. 2 young men have died in a fire at a house in Northampton. It started in the kitchen of a house in Duston Road in the early hours of this morning. It's thought the men were overcome by smoke after a chip pan caught fire. Forensic experts are still at the scene. The men's names aren't yet being released. There have been more walkouts by postal workers in the central region this morning. The worst hit area is Coventry, where staff are on strike over the use of casual labour to sort the backlog of mail which built up during Wednesday's national stoppage. One post office worker was arrested and charged with threatening behaviour last night after a confrontation on the picket lines. Elsewhere, Kenilworth, Leamington and the city of Worcester are also without their postal services today, and the dispute in the Northampton area has also spread. Offices in Corby, Kettering, Daventry, Rushton, Brackley and Wellingborough have been hit after the suspension of some staff who refused to cross picket lines. 4 people have appeared in court following the murder of a man in Solihull earlier this week. Reginald Taylor, who was 45, was found with severe head injuries outside the Linden School. The 4 men were remanded in custody. What has become a very hardy annual with the region's gardeners is in full swing in Birmingham's Kings Heath Park. It's the Gardeners' Weekend.
This is the 3rd annual Gardeners' Weekend for viewers of ITV's gardening programme. It's become a mini Chelsea of the Midlands, with everything from bulbs to greenhouses on show and sale. And lots of free advice too from members of Central's Gardening Time team.
Howard, this of course is your big weekend, isn't it?
It is. It's our Chelsea of the autumn, if you like, for people in the Midlands. And a very important weekend because not only are we here to show the TV garden, we've got a collection, I think, of some of the best stands in the country. We've got some of the best society shows possible. And we've got some new things now. Just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is a brand...
In fact, the decision was given to Dowsing, ridden by Pat Edery, with Silver Fling in 2nd place, and Kerwent was 3rd.
And that's the news and sport. From David and me, good night.
Hello. Tomorrow's going to be a bit like today, and dare I say it, in the northwest, perhaps a little bit better as well. Couldn't be any worse. Now this is a front, but we think it's only going to give rain at times in the Channel Islands. The rest of us in a run of showery southwesterly winds, quite a strong run of winds up in the northwest there, around this deep, deep low. Tonight, most of the showers have died away. Skies are clearing. Some showers will continue in the northwest, and 1 or 2 showers around other coastal districts too. A cool night, 9 Celsius, is just 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, in the north and west of Scotland and in the north and west of Ireland, some quite heavy showers from time to time. It will be windy there, and some of these showers heavy and perhaps prolonged. Over eastern and southern Scotland, over eastern South Ireland and over England and Wales, sunshine at times. A breezy day in the north, less breezy in the south. There will be showers though, mainly in the west, but the best of the sunshine in eastern and southern districts, and that's where the highest temperatures are going to be too. The winds from the southwest everywhere and becoming stronger as you go northwestwards across the country. Those are the temperatures that result. Just 14 to 16 near those western coasts, 57 to 63 Fahrenheit. The best in the east, 17 to 19, 63 to 66 Fahrenheit. On Monday and Tuesday, of course, becoming warmer as we all struggle back to work. Still 1 or 2 showers in the northwest. Finally, a summary of tomorrow's weather, sunshine and showers. Good night.
New series for Sunday evening in the new season on BBC One.
But what the heck are you doing? My tall exercises. Nora says I'm too small. For what? For Nora, for a start.
I didn't ask for Freya and Avril Rope to be on that aeroplane. The accident happened. I'm very sorry for them, but life has to go on.
I don't seem to get on with anyone anymore.
It's only your golf, Betty. The rest of you's all right.
Just want this damn record.
Everywhere we went, whites were afraid.
Give me your half an hour to get out of the window.
The new season's lineup for Sunday evening begins tomorrow on BBC One.
At 11 o'clock tonight, Tony Lewis presents cricket highlights from Lords of the day's play between Middlesex and Worcestershire. Until then, Big Tom Selleck walks into the spotlight as a tough lawman on the trail of pistol-packing robots in our film Runaway. Well, there's more from the silver screen in 50 minutes with Frank Sinatra starring in his famous role of Tony Rome, Hard-Nosed Private Eye.